Is Antifa an organization or an idea? In the first Biden-Trump presidential debate, Biden claimed that Antifa is purely an idea. The media had his back. One New York Times reporter claimed, "There's not been a single incident where Antifa has been tied definitively to concrete real-world harm." But is that the truth? Well, not quite. Despite being, in part, an idea, Antifa has given rise to numerous concrete groups across North America and Europe, predominantly associated with violence. They use black bloc tactics, meaning members wear all black clothes and masks, making it hard to identify those involved in riots, and use their identities against the organization. Let's take a look inside. The Torch Antifa Network is a coalition of militant anti-fascists, whose points of unity include refusing to rely on police and courts to stop alleged fascists, as, quote, "The cops uphold white supremacy and the status quo." Torch Antifa chapters claim to oppose all forms of oppression and exploitation, which they define in part as creating a classless society and supporting abortion rights. The largest chapter in the Torch Antifa network is Rose City Antifa, based in Portland, Oregon. In the summer of 2020, Portland faced over 100 days of violent protests. Rioters hurled fireworks, frozen water bottles, rocks, and ball bearings at police officers. They wreaked havoc, smashing windows and setting the city ablaze, not even sparing their Democratic mayor's private home. Rose City Antifa brutally assaulted journalist Andy Ngo and left him beaten and broken, with a torn earlobe, brain bleed, and damages to his memory. Another Torch chapter, Richmond, Virginia's Antifa 7 Hills, stormed alongside DC's anti-fascist coalition to disrupt the 2017 presidential inauguration. More than 200 were arrested, including members of Antifa 7 Hills. They smashed storefronts, torched cars, and barraged the police with bricks, hammers, and crowbars. Over 16 blocks, they caused more than $100,000 in property damage. But the Torch Antifa network is merely a blip on the map of militant, mobilized Antifa groups. The group, Puget Sound John Brown Gun Club, has left a mark of their own. Domestic terrorist and club member Willem Van Spronsen barraged an ICE facility and nearby property with firebombs. A following shootout with police took his life. The list goes on. A Long Beach anarchist collective demanded dropping all charges against rioters and looters, enabling continued carnage. The Pacific Northwest Liberation Front organized massive protests in July 2020, telling supporters to, quote, "Get tactical, stay dangerous, to show the world that the flames will keep getting bigger until the police state has been dismantled once and for all." Even when it's not organized, Antifa can be equally as dangerous. Michael Reinhold, self-described 100% Antifa, murdered a Trump supporter in cold blood. Mass shooter and Antifa supporter Connor Betts injured 17 and murdered 9. When Biden and others claim that Antifa is just an idea, they mean to diminish the threat that Antifa poses. Congressman Gerald Nadler even called Antifa violence a myth. To back up his position, Biden quoted FBI Director Chris Wray's statement before Congress that Antifa is not an organization or structure. But Biden won't tell you that Chris Wray also said Antifa is a real thing. We have seen individuals identified with the Antifa movement coalescing regionally into what you might describe as small groups or nodes. We are actively investigating the potential violence from those regional nodes. I want to be clear that by describing it as an ideology or movement, I by no means mean to minimize the seriousness of the violence and criminality that is going on across the country. Antifa's violence needs to end. The first step is to know and share the truth. I'm Christopher O'Neill. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.